Mics are up. Yep, yep, yep. Let me see that. All right, cool. I've muted. I paused this. I don't have to worry about that. And then I throw that line more live. I'll slide over here. What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg Miller. That's Joey Noel. Welcome to the inaugural episode of Greg and Joey Eat Pizza.
Bringing it back. See if it catches up.
Or it takes forever.
No, that's right.
So yeah, this is your town hall for August 2017. Of course, we did a town hall right before Kind of Funny Live, in May, when everything was all torn up. And people liked it enough because there was a chance to air grievances, talk to each other, figure out what's going on. We thought we would bring it back, of course. Many of you wanted it back, of course, which is great. We're happy to do it. Joey's here. She's gathered stories for us.
Questions.
Nah, I call them
stories.
They're stories indeed. Every question tells a story, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But right now we're waiting for it to catch up. I want to make sure it's all good. Seems like they're all talking about pizza. So it's probably
Oh, they see us now. Oh,
good.
yeah, it works.
Good. I asked the chat earlier on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching live, thank you. I guess that's the big thing, of course. If you've never seen this before, the idea here is that this is a sit down for the hardest of hardcore. Like we don't promote it on the morning show. Did we tweet about it?
Nope.
Exactly.
It just gets put up.
Put up on the forums, all the social places. I want all the kids who are the most dedicated, the most into it. Not that I'm putting down anybody else, but you guys are the ones who most likely have the most biting questions, comments, and concerns. So we wanted to do that. Have it going. Hold on, I want to throw OBS up here so make sure nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
Going wrong. Perfect. Now we're talking.
I am a San Fran psycho. This is like the confused sweatshirt I am.
They're doing a comedy thing too,
I got the email.
I think it's this weekend.
I think it's Sunday.
Cooking with Greg, you can't go.
Bummer.
Maybe I will though. Who sees? So I asked the chat earlier if I could eat pizza. They said okay. So I'm just gonna I just finished the game today.
Yeah, they have a lot of time in between shit.
Oh, I like it. Gotta go to the store today.
Go.
Gotta get ready for cooking with Greg tomorrow.
I know.
A lot going on. Okay.
It means we're all coming over for dinner this weekend, right?
It's an honestly great question of what are we gonna do with all this food? Because I keep meaning to put it on Slack, but I keep running out of time. I'm like, yeah, like be on call today or this weekend for like, hey, free food at the house. Because we're making some big old dishes.
You make good stuff.
Thank you.
I don't even like wings, and your wings are pretty. I don't like bone-in wings, but your wings are like really good.
I don't know about this. I don't know about this at all. Okay. I'm down to one slice, so I'll jump in here. So we have stuff, obviously, in the chat. We want you to be there. Go ahead and shout out questions. We're looking through them. You're looking through them.
Yeah.
Then we got stuff over in the town hall. From all the forum posts you put together, people put stuff if they couldn't be here. Because, of course, even though we're not promoting this isn't like the Patreon live streams where we delete them later. I want you in the frame more. There we go. There you go. Thanks. Fine. Don't get closer to me. That was part of the contract when we hired you. Exactly. So this will be live forever. Just as this unlisted link that you have to find for stuff like this, or where you got it on things or the forums or whatnot. We have the questions there. So hold on, what do I got over here? Now, Mario McDonald Jr. eating pizza on camera to repent for all your sins of calling it overrated. I'm so sickened by you people. In the way, how many of you just read the headline and just sounded off? You didn't even listen to the argument in there. People all mad like, oh, I eat pizza. I thought you said it's overrated. It is overrated. I didn't say pizza is bad. No point did I say pizza is bad. I said bad pizza is bad. It needs to be called bad pizza.
I feel like Tim had a good argument.
Tim was stupid.
No. Tim's the
He's got headphones on.
He's on.
Cameron Neal says I should make paella. I think.
Do you know how to make paella?
No, but I remember it from.
It's not super hard.
I remember it from the Cosby Show. There was a whole episode.
It all goes back to the Cosby
Again, if
Show.
only things hadn't happened where I could still talk about that publicly about my love of the Cosby Show. You know what I mean? It's over now, though. I think we're.
I don't think there were.
I'm just double checking through the chat or whatever. So, somebody did ask. Yeah, here we go. Demetrius Newell in the chat said, "Do we know the first meal?" You don't. But like I said on Twitter today, I'm going to be doing behind-the-scenes stuff on Instagram.com/GameOverGreg all weekend, as to not clog the Twitter feed. Because people know.
I saw you experimenting with stories.
You like that today? I'm doing a story. Blah blah blah. I mean, I can't. So many people like the studio tour.
I know.
And they were just like, we need to do more vlogs.
I know.
And then on Reddit, somebody was like, I've really enjoyed the Kevin, Andy Cortez stories, which I have as well too.
Pretty great.
So then I was like, I'll try it, and I was like, oh yeah, I still hate this. Because Jen does it all the time. Jen makes stories, and then the video gets lost. I'm like, well, that was just.
You can save them though.
Well, she doesn't. Everything goes to hell.
Well, that seems like user error.
It does. I agree. She's from. All right, let's jump in to what people have posted over here. Do you want to read them to me?
Sure.
Is that what you want to do? Oh, good. I like this. Here we go.
Story time. Greg, what's your vision for the Kind of Funny community? Has it changed over time? What do you want to see from it, and what would you suggest people to do? What would you suggest people do to keep the community positive and welcoming?
I mean, my vision remains the same. I think of a community of best friends, all united around the same stuff that we like. You know, they come.
Yeah.
I feel like if you right now watching this, whether you're doing it live or later, you're drawn here by the exact same message that everyone is, right? And the fact that you want to be best friends with people, you want a positive place on the internet, you want somewhere you can talk and disagree and not have it be the end of the world and have it turn into a giant flame war. That's the vision. I think it's changed over time in the way of, I think we thought it would be easier to maintain that than it turned out to be, because as we did get bigger, it did get harder to keep that going.
Yeah.
And there were people that I never would have expected there to be beef between between the, like, a Reddit or and I'm not saying all the time, but when there's flare-ups, Reddit or Facebook or forums and stuff, it would have never dawned on me when we started this that was going to be a thing. And it's just because we aren't community managers and we didn't expect that, and we don't use those forums in that way, and so it was different to learn as we went. So I think we had to learn that on the fly, which you've seen us this year with Growing Pains, but I think since the last Town Hall, people always say, oh, Kind of Funny Live TV, since then it's been great. I think Town Hall is really where we turned a corner and things really started to get fucking good, and we were back to who we are and what we're doing, and here's the message, and here's how it is. So that's changed over time, but it's still the same thing of that. And like, what do I want to see from it? I want to see people that continue to be welcoming and awesome to each other and best friends to each other. I think that what I suggest to keep the community positive and welcoming is what I've talked about before, right? It's to never to try to do what I try to do on the internet. It's just not sync to other people's levels.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to be a dick, if somebody wants to be in the Reddit and be like, these guys haven't been great since Colin left, and I fucking hate all of them. And it's like, you don't need to fight that person. You can just move on.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff is just, I mean, as Colin used to always say, it's a fire, and if you don't give it oxygen, it'll put itself out.
Yeah. I know. I feel like so many times it's like typing something angry and then just deleting it.
Oh yeah, and how many times have I done that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. This is less community stuff and more content stuff, but do you guys ever plan on producing more short-form content again? While Doodles and the animated series are great, it'd be cool to get short live-action content like Love and Sex stuff again. Will short live-action content be exclusive to limited series like Cooking with Greggy? Also, why don't you guys produce more short stuff?
So the answer is yeah. We want to do more live-action stuff. I guess it is technically. I wouldn't call Love and Sex stuff or Cooking with Greggy or into that short. I understand what you're saying, but I think short implies, we think all the time about, like, we'd love to do shorts, like
more
40-second, yeah, like little goofy bit stuff, and I think we'll see that. I think the live action stuff that's different and varied, you will continue to see as, at least in the foreseeable future, as the seasonal content, where Doodles for 2 months, Cooking with Greggy for 2 months, the next thing for 2 months, the next thing for 2 months. Both in the fact that we want to throw out ideas and see what you guys like and resonate with, you know what I mean? And then also the fact of we want to do different things to give ourselves energized and going, because the idea of, hey, we're adding another weekly show, monthly show to the already jammed schedule that has no end, that will never end, that continues on into it, that fucking really isn't bad, obviously. We love doing that with the shows we do, but the idea of that is so much insane work, whereas Cooking with Greggy, right? I'm cooking for 2 days this weekend, right? I don't have a weekend. Saturday and Sunday, I cook all day long and film all day with Nick, and it's going to be really tiresome and really crazy and blah, blah, blah. It's something I've wanted to do forever. Once I'm done, it's 2 months of content, and then I don't do it again for X, Y, and Z months. Because when I started talking about wanting to do a Cooking with Greggy based on what you guys were saying on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz, it was like, in my head, I only knew, let's just do a show that's ongoing. And that would have, it's like Oration, right, where that was too much to do of having that. So these limited run content schedules, I think, actually let us get out there, try something, and go. And inevitably, when we do stumble on something you really like and you do want more of, I think it'll come up more in the seasonal rotation, and then also that'll give us a window into, okay, cool, this is popular enough that we need to majigger the schedule so that this is, hey, boom, this is a new show, this is a weekly show.
Yeah. I think, too, on like a creative standpoint, it's easier to like go 100% on something you can wrap your head around versus like, man, we got to keep thinking of different topics and questions for like the same show over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you get like 100% of that versus trying to spread it out over. And plus, like, I don't think it's good to have like a million different shows on our YouTube channels.
Right. You want to have consistency to it. We also, I mean, I think I was talking about this on Reddit the other day, right? And the fact that Kind of Funny Games, the YouTube channel is doing so well now. Kind of Funny isn't doing bad, but it's not seen as subscriber bump like Games has, right? And the fact of the matter is because Kind of Funny's YouTube channel is the same trend, whereas Kind of Funny Games is adding Kind of Funny Games daily. There's something new there. And so you hope that, Cooking with Greg will bring different people through the door and do different things on that way. But just it's something for us to promote and have people energized about. Even with Kind of Funny Games daily, right? Those first 2 weeks of shows did better than the rest of the shows have just because it's brand new. You want to see it. Oh my God, this is different. And then when it becomes routine, it does become, I'll catch that episode later. I won't watch it. I'll do this. I'll catch them all later.
Yeah.
There's different things there. I'm jumping over now. We have things in the chat here going on. You know what I mean? Now, Matt says, Greg, when will you be on First We Feast? Their channel is all about wings. I'd love to be, but you're doing that thing that you have to ask them, not me. It's the same, and then it's also the same way when people are always like, hey, Greg, why don't you have fucking Matthew McConaughey on the show? I'm like, that's a great thing. You ask Matthew McConaughey. Whoever's got the power in the situation, you got to ask them. I'd love to go on and do a Hot Ones challenge. I would die and not get to the last one, I'm sure, but yeah. Party mode is God, says Bulletproof Games. Fuck yeah.
That's super great.
Rob Berry caught the reflection of Nick as he's running around getting ready for Cooking with Greggy. 12-ounce B-House says, I agree. It's been rad since our last chat. Loving this community, even when we don't agree. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. That's what it's supposed to be. Penguin Von Penguin says, you just need 40-second Twitch breakouts on YouTube. Yeah, that'd be good. You do a great job of breaking them out already. We should eventually talk about how we do that and put them up there and not piss you off and fuck everything up, but yeah. Giant Bomb, this is Buddy Christ. Giant Bomb did a series where they played every Mario Party for 50 turns. Would you guys do something similar? Nah, not with Mario Party. With something else one day. I love Mario Party too. I just don't think
50 turns is so long though.
Exactly. Martin Marino said, or Moreno. No, maybe Marino. I'm right either way. KF Bomber Jacket. Tell Tim and Andy to make it happen. Tim, make it happen. Tim's not listening anymore. It's over. All right.
KF Blanket. Still coming.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
When's it coming? Do we know?
Well.
Do you know?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
We just have to take into account for a lot of things that people ask of like, it's summer, so as things get colder, things that people have been asking for will probably come out.
What's next, Joey?
Next, after all the hard work that goes into Kind of Funny live events, do you think that it will continue on as a yearly trend? Do you want it to stay at the same venue?
I think it's going to be interesting. I can see it going either way, where it is annually or we take time off and come back and do it a different way or a different thing or do something different altogether.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, like, and that's the thing. You're like, is it going to be the same venue? Would it be at the same venue? There's pros and cons of that, right? And the fact that I think it's maybe hard to get people as excited about that. It's also an easy way to skip it. I'm like, okay, well, I went to Kind of Funny Live 2 or 3 at the Regency Ballroom. I don't need to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time you finish a Kind of Funny Live, I think we're all like, oh, okay, not again.
Yeah.
And
but then as it gets closer to the next one, it's like, I can't not.
Well, especially when you watch that video and how special the video is.
Yeah.
Kind of Funny Live 3 available now. You get to, really understand what it means to us, what it means to you guys, all these different things. But there is the bandwidth problem. We do complain all the time about not having enough time for shows, this, that, and the other. So you notice we're trying to do live shows differently. We skip VidCon. I popped down to Comic-Con for one day. I'm currently only going to PAX for one day, Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. That matters, I guess. I have my one-man panel about my 5-year cancer anniversary. It's going to be my most special panel ever. But I might shoot up Saturday. We'll see. It's just that we're trying to be better. You know what I mean? In terms of, be real. That's what we talked about in the last one, right? Of, this is now a real business. It's how we've revamped everything. And content is king, and we want to make sure we're making stuff we love and believe in and not shortchanging that. So there's just balances and checks.
Yeah. Griffin had a question, but it's what's the state of Cooking with Greggy, and are we going to see another season down the line?
Yeah, Cooking with Greggy filming this weekend. Can't wait for it. Instagram, I'll have a whole bunch of stuff up on. And then will you see another one down the line? I would assume so. I would venture to guess. But if we put it out and everybody's just like, oh, this is great, and they all do 11,000 views, then no. Because it's like Nick's going to put a lot of work into what he wants to do with that show.
Yeah. Will there ever be a permanent fourth host for the company?
I would say never either way. I would imagine, yeah, eventually there will be in some respect, but I don't even know. Maybe not, because you figure, I would argue that in a way, Andy already is kind of the permanent fourth host, right? In the way that, like, okay, a guest dropped out, or we have a great topic that we want you on, you're on it, and that's the same thing. The thing is, it's such a weird question because we'll never hire somebody full-time who can't do everything. So the next host we hire wouldn't be hired as just, hey, I'm the host. You know, I mean, even you. We hired you as community manager, but you've been on multiple GOGs now. You're on your first Gamescast yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be able to be, or we have to, anybody we bring in, we know we want to see on camera in that aspect.
And even that, being the community manager, it's like, I'm working a lot on social, and I'm doing merch, and it's like...
Yeah, exactly. We wear so many hats here and everything. We're a 7-person company, so yeah.
Caleb LaChapelle says, was wondering if there's any room in the schedule for late night, afternoon, nighttime streams of games, whether it be you, Tim, Andy, or anyone else.
Oh, man. I mean, you're talking about something from the get-go of Kind of Funny. I was super bullish on that I wanted to happen, but the problem I ran into is that I can't push my passions on other people. And so, like, I wanted to do it. Colin hated playing games that way. Tim's never been big on playing games that way, and Nick doesn't play games. And so it wasn't until we hired Andy where Andy was like, I'd like to do night streams again, or I'd like to do them. Like, I want to do those too, and I know Kevin got excited. So
I want to do them. My farm's not going to farm itself on Stardew Valley.
There you go. See, there's that thing where I think we all want to do it. It's just another thing of there's so much going on of like, how do we sit down and actually figure that out? And do we have to? Should we say this weekly to start, or do we just jump in and do it and see how many you do? And go, You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot to it because you want to have the right strategy for it because it's not just streaming for the shit of it. It is streaming as part of like hanging out with you guys and making sure you know to go there and do it. I would think down the line you'll see that, but then again, it also gets, for me now, it's a different life too. Of just like, well, I'd like to go home to my wife. Like, it's, this is awesome and I love making the content, but unless I can not come in the mornings and do this thing, but it's like, that's just not how our business is run, that we can take time off and do all that stuff. But yes, that I think eventually you'll see that with regular. I don't know if it'll be with regularity to begin with, but we want to do more. I think we're trying to be better about, hey, Patapon just dropped, there's a stream there. Hey, everybody's golf is huge for me, there's an all-day stream there. Friday the 13th, whenever I got a chance, we were just talking about Friday the 13th in October is Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I want to fucking get out there and do something crazy there too. Yeah.
Matt McCromas asked about the blue hoodies. Look for them soonishly, maybe when it gets colder.
Okay, good. I didn't even know that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's been frustrating for me.
Yeah.
And again, that wasn't on Rooster Teeth. It was on American Apparel going out of business.
Yeah.
And then everything changed. Yeah.
I'm
going to jump to a lot of chat people for a second. Yeah, Trevor Sanders, some of my favorite series were things like Follow the Leader. It was great. I would love to see a series like that return. We've talked about that, right, in the fact of going into Cooking with Greggy. We love Follow the Leader, too. 100%. We love Eric. Eric's awesome on camera, obviously. Going into Cooking with Greggy, this show couldn't be that, right? In the way that what we found with Follow the Leader was it wasn't enough Kind of Funny, but it also we're not the place to go for tutorial videos, right?
Yeah.
So like what I'm excited for with Cooking with Greggy, for just between you, me, and the tree, is the fact that like it's me, Mike, Nick shooting me, but Nick Mike too, and me and Nick basically doing like a one-on-one podcast with him behind the camera while I cook and do and talk and actually I'm sure have dumb stories and have stupid laughing fits and stuff like that, where it's not just, hey, I'm going to show you how to make an omelet. Omelet made. See you later. Like, you know what I mean? Because that's what Follow Leader was, where it was like, what's this stream in old fashioned? This is old fashioned.
So it's going to be more on like the Oreo oration, where there was a little bit more
exactly.
back and forth.
Yeah, but I think even more the back and forth will be jacked up there because Nick's actually going to be Mike. There'll be a point that he's talking and doing stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
At least in my head. We'll see what actually happens when we get the cameras turned on. Jen will be there too. Don't worry.
Portillo?
Oh, of course. Where's he? How can he get away? Brad Murphy says, what strategies are you exploring for growing the party mode audience? It's an awesome, underviewed show. Well, I agree, Brad. It is underviewed and it is awesome. Right now, I think it's building a library because we've already seen that, right? Where when we first launched them, we talked publicly like, man, we wish these were getting more views. Like, these are awesome things. Andy puts a lot of work into them. And now you go back and those are all like cross 30,000 views. Yeah. So it is the thing that people are finding them and then going back through the content to watch them. I think as you see us experiment more and more with breakouts on Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, stuff like that, that's there. I think, you know, we've been talking internally about how to use the youtube.com/let's play for it more. But again, that's a library issue for me of we're not the Let's Play guys. And I mean like lower case on Let's Play. We're not the channel you come to watch Let's Plays yet. So we need to have a nice library to go to the Let's Play channel and be like, hey, here's one for you guys, or an old one with a bump in the front that, hey, we're doing Let's Plays the way everybody else does them now. If you want to come check them out, that kind of thing. But even then, I mean, it always sucks, but it's word of mouth. It's you guys expressing that, and talking to people and telling your friends and sharing them to your audience that isn't my audience. So don't worry about how many Twitter followers you have. It'd be awesome to see you tweet about it as well.
Yeah, I think the more that we like play around with breakouts and stuff is what we're trying to figure out.
Right. Cameron O'Neill says in the chat, sorry.
No, fine. Figuring out what does well in what places.
Exactly. Yeah. Cameron, yeah, it's like my Instagram, right? Where I'm like, oh man, I can put up anything, and it's over 1,000 hearts. Yay.
Yeah.
Jen. Oh yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Jen and I'll put up a photo of me and Jen. It's like that's a guaranteed 3,000 likes. Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If I put up any of our like ad, stream, whatever, it's like 600. Period. Like damn. Like come on now. Aren't you happy I'm making it? But y'all want that behind the scenes, and I understand. Cameron O'Neill says, Greg, are you guys concerned at all about the growing crowded landscape on Patreon, specifically with games-related content and the ability to reach a new audience? No. It's always works against what we thought logic would be for Patreon. Okay, oh shit, like Danny quit GameSpot, and he's going to go do this. Oh shit, Easy Allies are doing their own thing. Everybody get ready, we're going to see a drop in our numbers. And it's never happened, because what happens is you best friends go and support those people, and it doesn't affect our pledge for the most part. And then they bring in a new audience that finally understands what Patreon is, and then they come and check it out. Not everybody, but they come and check it out and give us money too. So I'm not concerned. We've also been around for a while. We have entrenched users like yourself. I like to believe, I was talking about this in the subreddit, that you see where your money's going. You see us hiring Joey. You see us with the studio. You see us doing Cooking with Greg, and it'll look different. Like, these are, it's not like we're banging the drum and we're not putting up the milestone. You know, we got away from milestones. Like, we'll buy a new camera or stuff. But, like, when you see us invest in our future that way, invest in Andy to make these shows you want, I hope you see where your dollar amount's going, and then you are encouraged to give more, stay where you're at. And that's what I was talking about, where, you know, we do the streams of, like, how many, let's get the patron numbers up to this, and we'll give away that. That's always nice and great, but it really was, for me, heartening to see when we did the studio launch last year, that we did that and the numbers went up organically without us saying, hey, your money, well, we did say that, but not like, hey, give us more or whatever. Like, it was very much like, oh, this is what they've been doing. All right, here you go.
It wasn't like a guilting of, we have a studio and now we need more money.
Exactly. You want to move on next? I'm looking for another one.
Yeah. How do you guys do it when time gets hard and everything seems to be going wrong, and nothing you do ever seems to make a difference? How do you guys find the strength or the courage to keep going? What motivates you to keep trying when it feels like it would be better just to give up and walk away?
I don't know if it's ever felt like we should give up. I've never hit that point. When times get hard, I mean, it's you guys, as we've always said, right? Like, I think the Kind of Funny Live 3 speech where I come out and talk to you and like, sit on the stage and stuff is like, honestly, it's very honest, obviously, and heartfelt, but it's like what you fall back on. And it's that thing of what I talked about, you know, internally with the guys, and I'll probably talk about it on the show because that's how we were doing the show. But was last year when we were coming into December and we were all worn out and the community seemed worn out and was going at each other and then a little bit at us and these different things. When it was in January when we launched Kind of Funny Live 2, the video, watching that, it was like, oh, right, this is what it's all about. Like, this is, and I think, you know, you watch Kind of Funny Live 3 and you see that, and I think we hang on to those memories, but sometimes it's easy to get dusted up when it's happening, or you pop over to Reddit and, yeah, somebody's mad. And I only use Reddit because, obviously, I'm just scrolling through Reddit every day in the car ride home, and then there's something there that pops up or whatever. Yeah, I think it's you stay motivated by the experiences we've had with you and knowing, like, you know, the reason we bring up Trevor or Zyger or Amy Gills or whoever is the fact that they've been there, whether they know it or not, in times we needed them to be there for, like, uplift our spirits, stuff like that.
Yeah. How different has the reception to Kind of Funny Games Daily been versus your expectations? It's been fantastic, and I personally look forward to it daily.
Oh,
besides, what else are you going to listen to? A shoe? My favorite running joke.
I'm glad it took off. It's been very different, honestly, the Kind of Funny Games Daily reaction. I thought there would be way more, even though it wasn't PS I Love You and it wasn't Beyond. I thought there would be more, this is all right, but I missed that show. When the overwhelming feedback has been, like, I love the one that one guy put up, was like, the headline on Reddit was like, how can Kind of Funny remove one of my favorite shows of PS I Love You XOXO and replace it with Kind of Funny Games Daily, ... And it completely exceeded my expectations!
I know, know. There's so many times where I see those headlines and I'm like,
here we go. Oh no, they're fine. No, and like that was the thing is I expected more of that, and I've been thrilled to see everybody love that show. I can't believe the amount of people who've said that they like it more than P.S. I Love You or this, that, or Beyond or whatever. And that it is. They see that as the evolution of that.
Yeah.
I've been super happy the way people have welcomed Andrea and Danny with open arms. Obviously, I was super excited to get them on board. I think they're so great.
Yeah.
And see them be like, welcome. It's been great.
Yeah, because it was sad to not have Danny be in like daily game stuff, even though no clip stuff is great. And I love Andrea too.
Of course.
And I feel like they bring in expertise on games that people here don't necessarily
100%,
play.
yeah.
And that's, I think, some of the diversity.
Danny was the only guy on this channel talking about PUBG forever.
Yeah.
Andrea continues to be the only person talking about Paragon and Fortnite. So yeah, no, it's awesome to have that different thing. And I think we really did, as unexpected as Colin leaving was and the way it all happened, as fast as it happens, I should say. I think it was a great way for us to be like, well, we can't hire a fourth host. Like, we don't have the bandwidth for that, let alone they'd have to do all this different stuff. What do we do? What do we do? What if we had contractors? And that really was like, oh, shit, like, this is awesome. Like, having freelance people who can come in and come out and do this. And then, like, do we expand that one day? Do we hire more to do that? Do we hire more for different shows? Like, there's a million different things that really opened our eyes to. That I think it's pretty awesome.
Do you want to do chat stuff?
Sure. Jordan Town says, where do you guys want Kind of Funny to be 2 years from now? Dude, this thing changes so much month to month, every 3 months that I really can't answer that. I hope we're here. I hope we're still successful. I hope we're still making the content you guys like. I hope Nick's still shaking that fucking beautiful ass over there. So, Nick, shake that ass for me. Shake that. Shake it! I really liked your studio tour, by the way, Nick.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Kids liked it too.
Yeah, it was really a lot of nice comments on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people wanted to go deep, a little bit more in depth about the equipment, so maybe we'll have to do that at some point.
Okay.
It's always fun for me to nerd out about that.
How you feeling, Nick?
Tired.
Are you excited for Cooking with Greggy?
I will be excited. I didn't have sleep very well last night.
What's wrong?
Oh, it was just really hot. It was like super humid in my apartment, so I will be very excited once I get a little bit of sleep in there.
Okay, good.
But other than that,
What if you get a little bit of Greg omelet in you, huh?
I mean, I'm looking forward. The thing is, I'm looking forward to the food, and if it's not good, I will be saying so on camera.
Wow.
I will just
Harsh but fair.
Yikes.
Maybe we won't eat on camera then. Because I can plate it all to look really good.
Okay, that's fair. I usually really good.
Looking through the chat, so you can see it.
I think we skipped. I think you might have gone to the bottom. We skipped stuff. Fucking Wes. Questions. In the meantime.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just looking at what I'm trying to find.
How do you think things have changed on a company level and grander level since bringing on Cool Greg, Andy, and Joey?
I mean, it's the same level, right? It's fucking really weird. We have people who depend on us now, that isn't just us and Kevin. And the fact that the office went from being like, there's a lot of space in here, to suddenly being like, there's no space, and there's a culture, and you guys are doing stuff on your own, and like I get home and I, cook dinner, and then I look at the Instagram stories, and everybody's playing PUBG here. It's like, fuck, like, shit happens now with Kind of Funny that I'm not intimately aware of.
Because, I guess within like 6 months, the staff doubled.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's what I've talked about it before in interviews and stuff. Like, the thing that I probably find the most heartbreaking about Colin leaving when he didn't, how it all happened, is the fact that he missed Andy by like a week or two. Yeah. And as soon as we got him in here and then you started coming in, even though you were part-time, it was like, there's that day where I walked in and you were all talking up front, and I came back here to Tim and Nick, and I was like, they have their own lives. Like, it goes without us, because we've been pushing the boulder so long that like, if we didn't have our hand on it, there's nothing happening with Kind of Funny. But to find the tweets you're doing, or the new things, or the breakout videos, or like the ads for the Captain America ad, it's just like, fuck, shit happens when we don't force it to happen, and that's awesome and crazy. It's just like, that's radical and different and amazing. Yeah,
it's been cool to be able to collab with Andy, because I feel like we're kind of on the same wavelength of like stuff that we want to see. And I think that also taps into like, we see what everybody, because we were in the community for so long, we kind of have an idea.
You have a different perspective on everything we do, which is awesome.
So trying to figure out how we implement stuff like that. Is transparency on appearances at events limited to when third party, aka Square and Rooster Teeth, say you can talk about appearances, or when you see whether you can actually afford to attend events as a company? Just strange to see a number of bigger upcoming events, PAX, TwitchCon, RTX London, without a word on whether any of you guys will be in attendance. It's kind of a weirdly.
I understand what they're saying.
Yeah. I think they're asking if we're only going to events when we're getting sponsored instead.
Sure.
Kind of seems that.
Yeah, I was rereading. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. If it, so is it limited to when third parties can say we can do stuff? Like, let's take Comic-Con. Yeah, Comic-Con was because like I was on the hook for the Marvel Games panel and the Call of Duty panel, and Call of Duty had a schedule they wanted to roll out with announcements, and Marvel had a day they wanted to as well. So that's why we didn't say anything about that. PAX West in this very thing, I know this is. Whoa, PAX West. We in this thing talk about I'm doing a panel up there. That's independent of anybody. So we're gonna go up there regardless. But that's how PAX is important to us. If we end up doing the other thing on Saturday, that's a paid opportunity. So I would tell you that they're doing it. I guess the long and short of it, for the most part, yeah. If the question is, do we only go to stuff when people pay for it? Yeah, I think PAX is an example of no, because we would have gone, or I would have gone at least, and they're all off doing different things.
Yeah, that's a weird week.
There's some fucked up weeks coming up in terms of scheduling. But yeah, there would have been. We'll tell you when somebody's sending us, and then stuff like London, like. There it is. Yeah. What was it? He said. Did he say London? RTX London or was it London?
That we haven't.
RTX London. Yeah, we don't know if RT wants to send us, and we don't feel like that's an investment of money we can afford at this time to go on our own and do that on our own if we were going to. So that's the kind of thing of like that is an opportunity that we would want somebody to send it to, because again, it's like we talk about, like there's a lot of place for the money to go, and there's 7 people here now, let alone the 2 contractors we pay and do things for. So us going over there would be awesome and amazing, but if it doesn't make financial sense, we're not just going to do it to do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if there are like some questions that are like just questions for Greg, I'm just gonna skip.
Sure. Then if those are those, God, I'm so tired. If those are popping up, you can of course do those for AMAs when we do those things where we pop up on the Patreon things. I'm assuming you're all patrons. I'm sorry if you're not.
Yeah. So every part of KIF has been killing it lately. The community has been more positive. The new Games Cast is better. Games Daily is awesome. Party mode is great and edited perfectly. Think a vlog every so often, like the tour that Nick gave, would be a nice thing to add.
Yeah, agreed. It's all just work. It's all the workload and how you make it happen, right?
I'm just gonna keep making the tour video over and over again, but people don't want that anymore.
Perfect.
That sounds great, Nick.
And that's like kind of what we're trying to do with the Kind of Funny Instagram too. Posting those like funny, like random things that happen at the office and figuring out what stories look like and stuff like that.
Sure.
But even going back to like January of looking at Patreon tiers of like, that was one of the things, like people always want behind the scenes vlog stuff, so no.
We hear you, and yeah, it's just that, how do you make time for that? How do you work it all out? And how do you make it happen?
Yeah.
Because making it happen is the hardest part.
For sure.
Brad Murphy in the chat says, candidly, how do you guys feel about your subscriber count / growth of audience? Over on Reddit, and I hate to keep pushing you there, I did a post on, it was a thread about underperforming or something like that, and I gave a giant breakdown how we feel about it, or how I feel about everything. I can't speak for everybody, but I will because I'm kind of funny. I mean, it's the same. I mean, of course, we wish we had 1 million subs. We wish every video got 1 million views, but they don't, and that's fine. Like, for us, we're in such a weird spot where people are always like, oh, YouTube just changed this algorithm, or they're doing this thing. They're purging, it's like, that's not how we make the most of our money. I mean, Patreon's such a big part of it, and then it's sponsorship integrations in it where I read about Movement Watches or Blue Apron or something like that, that we're in a different boat of like, it's what I was talking about. You've heard this story if you listen to the shows or see me on a podcast that isn't ours or Patreon or something like that. Where I'm talking about the fact that we can survive. I said it today in Kind of Funny Games Daily, that we can survive and be this important thing in the industry and have a small audience because the audience is so supportive and everybody gets that. All the people who give us money for events or give it for a sponsorship or just want their products talked about, like in terms of like PlayStation wanting us to review games. They understand that you guys listen and act on what we say, so that's why it matters. I'm looking.
Echoing what another person wrote into Games Daily about, I'd love to see some sort of GamePot discussion / book club type deal.
I hope you guys are feeling we're giving you that with the Last of Us spoiler cast thing we did there, and then the Tacoma thing we did this week too. Today somebody wrote in about Horizon Zero Dawn, and I almost put it in there at the end, wanting the same book club discussion of it. But my problem was that I felt like we actually did that in the review. If I remember when we did the Gamescast one, we actually did a giant breakdown of it. So you can go watch that if you want to.
Yeah. I'm wondering, just on like, if people don't watch it every day, they might not know that that's
I
there
know,
necessarily, so
and
figured
that's the
we'd
problem.
do
Yeah, and that's the thing of like, if we wanted to get crazy, you could break it out and do stuff. But I mean, like nobody wants The Last of Us spoiler cast right now. I was happy so many people liked it. It was just like, oh, that's. I mean, we've done that before at IGN. Bulletproof Games over in the chat says, Greg, I got back into Persona 5 today after 4 months, and dude, I'm so happy I jumped back in. You need to get on that soon. I'm gonna get on it. I doubt it'll be soon. Too many good August games right now for me to play.
Yeah, it's a lot. Here's a really long one.
Okay.
But the first sentence is, I want the admins and some of the best friends to stop forcing people not to post anything about Colin on the Facebook group.
Mm.
From the admin side of things, there's a log in the Facebook group that shows anytime any post is deleted, any comments are deleted, any member requests are denied or anything like that. And I went through it, and we haven't taken anything down. I know that there was a big post yesterday that people were like all in a tizzy about, but like multiple admins commented on like, congrats, Colin is starting his podcast. So I'm not really quite sure what this is talking to because we haven't.
I don't go to the Facebook group.
So
It's not official.
I mean, if people in the group are like don't want to talk about it, we don't have control over that. But I looked through the log today to see like if someone had like gone through and like deleted a bunch of stuff, like gone rogue, and that wasn't the case.
We're wiping them out.
So, yeah.
Over in the chat, Matt says, Greg, is there any chance you will play Destiny 2 with the community when it comes out next month? 100% yes.
Do we maybe have something on the calendar for that we
Oh,
haven't?
do we?
There's a block out of.
Oh, right. Well, for the launch day, right?
Yeah.
Me and Andy. And then maybe you and Andrea
Yeah.
from back home, yeah. But I don't know how strike teams are 3 people? So that's 3 right there. But we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll get kids. We'll make it happen.
What does the end of the year look like for Kind of Funny?
Whew, I can't even think that far ahead. Right now, we're into a different kind of minefield this summer with them going away to a wedding, Kevin's bachelor party, Kevin's wedding coming up.
Nick's on vacation.
Nick's on vacation. Tim and Kevin are at that other wedding. Like,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of shit, and then Danny O'Dwyer's flying all over the fucking world doing these documentaries, all this different
You
shit.
should have brought on a contractor that doesn't travel.
Well, you know what? He told me he's gonna quit No Clip. He didn't say that.
Yeah. Loving the content. Just wanted to throw in a comment. People have been looking for more in-depth, long-form gaming content. Kind of Funny Dailies is more reactive, business analytical. Gamescast runs on a more topical. What do you think? Are there any plans or even budding thoughts about creating longer form, more series, games-related content?
No. No thoughts on it right now. No plans for it. If that's something you guys want, be vocal about that. Let us know. Not I mean, but I assume you mean something on the level of Colin's Right or whatever. That's a great show and good stuff. I don't know if we have the bandwidth to do that with the shows we do right now.
Yeah.
It's one of those where we fill a niche the way we like where we are right now. I think Gamescast has the ability to do that in terms of if we wanted to bring up, it's supposed to be top of the show, it's supposed to be this evergreen topic, overarching thing. But even that, I mean, it wouldn't be as thought out and produced as what you're talking about. And that's where you start to lose stuff where it's like, with everything we're doing, the produced stuff like Cooking with Greggy needs to be something that's seasonal because it's just easier to produce that way.
I think if there was someone that really wanted to do that in the office,
True, too.
then that would be one thing. But I think it gets into a tricky in-between of like forcing content because you think that it should exist. And
Yeah.
then it doesn't turn out to be super great if it's not a passion project.
Right. Bulletproof Games asks, are y'all going to PSX this year? That's a great question. Last year we weren't going to go to PSX if we didn't get the panel, and that sounds like we were making a giant stand, and we weren't. I'm just saying we weren't going to go there unless we had a panel. So I assume it'd be something like that. If I get a Games Daily, Gamescast, whatever the fuck it'll be, panel, then yeah, we'd go. Otherwise, it might not benefit us too because we would do the reaction streams from here like we did last year when they then go down that night, and it's like somewhere along the line with this whole thing, we crossed over from being journalists like you'd find at IGN reporting on games to being personalities who commentate on games, right? And so, and I don't mean commentate like over on like shoutcasters, but commentate on the business. And that can be done from here. I mean, I'm going to PAX, maybe for a day, and if I'm there for longer, then I'm going to walk the floor and see stuff. And then by the time you get to PSX, how much of that stuff would I have seen already? Even if it was that I went to PSX and I was just covering games, most of the big stuff would have been covered in the press conference, and then the stuff I played there, I'm going to play for 10 minutes, and then be able to say that, man, this seems like an interesting roguelike. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's touch and go. And that to the question earlier of like, it's every show is different on if we're going to go or if we're not going to go and why or why not. That would come down to, are we going to have a panel of some kind? Is there some kind of community outreach thing to do? Otherwise, I think for the greater community of Kind of Funny that would want to see us reacting to the stream and talking about it and pre and post show shit that need to be done here.
I mean, I'll probably go either way.
That's home for you.
Yeah,
right?
I lived in Orange County for like 10 years, so it's like good of, hey, I get to see my friends and stuff that live there, plus if there's going to be a bunch of our community members there.
Yeah,
like
that makes sense.
And hang out, so we'll probably do
And that's true too. Like now there is, your job is community, so you probably should go to community events. Like maybe if we're not even going, I don't know. Yeah, we have to figure that stuff out.
I know, Pack South, man.
Pack South needs to die. All right, go to our teams.
Let's see. If there's enough of it, whether you can all unload the PO box, we do a video for it. This is something I've been talking about for a really long time. No joke, something I was gonna put on the calendar for today, and then Kevin took today off. So I was like, we haven't been to the mail thing in a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to do that. I want to figure out, like I was saying earlier, of like doing different content for different platforms, because I think that could be a cool thing to do, like on our Facebook channel with Facebook Live and see how that works.
That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
We
haven't been there in a while too.
Yeah.
It's just teaming with crap.
So.
No, but not crap.
But yeah. Can we have more Kevin on GOG, or maybe just more Kevin on camera in general?
Yeah, I thought he was great on GOG. I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah.
Rob Berry in the chat live says new class needs to do a one-off GOG like Kind of Honeys.
We kind of did that with the AMA.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't like a full thing. I think now that Cool Greg can run the boards and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna learn how to do it. I think that frees up Kevin to be on more content, because I think it would be good to have him on more stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Make him work for a living, so just play Switch over there while we do it. Here we go. Brad Murphy. As a longtime Greg Miller plus crew fan, I still approach you folks as podcasters more than as YouTubers. Does your audio-only audience remain an important part of your audience, or is it all VOD now? It's a really interesting question/point is the fact that I think the easiest way when I describe myself to somebody, I'm an online personality. What does that mean? I make YouTube videos and podcasts. I think of myself as a YouTuber, even though we don't do any YouTube-y shit for the most part. Of, like weird cookie stuff and all this crap and trying to, actually we've done everything I'm about to say we don't do, but we don't do it with regularity. But the audio, you are in probably the majority actually, Brad, that I think most people consume the podcast as audio and not as video, which is always mind-boggling to me. Because it is that thing /was where you look at the numbers and you're like, oh man, this is a great episode of the podcast. I thought it would do more views. And then you look at the numbers on the downloads, like, oh, okay, no, people are consuming it there. And so it's a weird balance for us, but I get it in the way that I listen to Death, Sex, and Money, and if it was a video podcast, I don't know if I'd be motivated to go watch two people talk, because I'm listening while I do groceries or cook or do that. It makes sense.
Did Beyond start as audio only?
100%.
So I think maybe.
Oh no, that's totally why. It's the fact that everybody understands our content that way and is ingrained with us that way.
Because I found you guys through your video stuff, so I watched all the videos.
Well, that's what's so fascinating about one of the Reddit threads I was going through, just like how people found us is a good one that's up, and then how people consume the content. How many people I don't know. I don't know what's happening on YouTube because I don't watch the YouTube stuff. Fascinating.
Has there been any more effort put towards collaborating with Easy Allies?
I mean, they're welcome anytime. We talk to Brandon all the time. Brandon's the only one I know. Yeah. Oh, and that's not true. I know Brandon the best, I should say.
Who are you looking for?
Long hair. Kind of looks like Jesus. Huber?
Michael?
Michael?
This is a
Tim. Who's the Easy Allies? Long hair Jesus.
Bloodworth.
Fuck. I know him. I know him too.
Huh? Daniel Bloodworth.
Yeah, Daniel Bloodworth. Yeah. No, I know him too. From events and stuff and passing. I think so. No, we'd love to do more with them. It's just a matter of making it happen. But
yeah, we've seen a lot of people request a Gettys Hubert.
We gotta make
something.
It happen.
So we see you guys requesting that.
Yeah. Yeah, Huber he's just like tight. That's all it is.
So we see that.
Yeah, we see it. We want to do more with them.
Yeah, my boy Brad over there, big fan of him. I love these guys.
Big ol' Andy
Awesome, all of them. And the only ones I don't know, I guess I don't know the rest of them. We name all the ones.
The ones I haven't mentioned because I don't know.
Those four are the ones that I know.
Yeah.
Like Brad and I are like friends.
Oh, is Brad the blonde who's really good looking?
Brad's the one with the swoopy hair.
Yeah, he's
not
good
blonde,
looking.
but yeah.
Swoopy hair.
And then Bossman I don't really know too well, but we say hi to each other and I love his content. But yeah, I don't really know the other dudes. Like Damiani
So no movement on that, but we have had a lot of movement on other guests for the upcoming 4 weeks from here.
There's some really good ones.
There's some really, really good ones. It's a really crowded schedule. It's going to be fucking breakneck pace. But, yeah, I mean, let's look. I'll tell you a few of them right now because you're going to watch them
There's
live.
one that I'm really excited about.
So here, we haven't talked about it. Well, some of this has been talked about live, but you'll piece it all together. So, Batman stream on Monday, right? Troy Baker and Anthony and Gruber coming to watch me play the Batman Season 2, Episode 1, right? Huh? You know
Wait,
this?
no.
So we're doing a Batman stream after Kind of Funny Games Daily on there, where we're going to play all of Episode 1 of Season 2 with Batman and Joker. Yeah. Then Troy's staying to do GOG with us that afternoon. Then the next day on Tuesday, Anthony and Gruber's coming in to do GOG. Then looking ahead to the week, this one here?
That's what I'm really excited for.
8:15, Meg Turney's coming in. She's doing, she's staying at my house the night before. Spare room. And then just don't come at me, Gavin. I want her to do morning show, maybe do Let's Play, then do GOG with us there.
She brings, I guess her cute dog doesn't play anymore. But you can have a
Penny
dog
doesn't live
party. No, Penny lives with her mom now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm.
That's too bad. Was it because you're getting old or just because she's traveling so much?
I think a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think Penny was happier at her mom's house because now they have 2 cats and some
Gotcha.
things. There was a video on there, I don't remember.
Wednesday, 8:23 is a Game Over Greggy show that I'm excited about, but I have not confirmed the flights for this guest, so I don't want to say who it is yet. And then, yeah, we're looking further down here.
That one made me laugh.
Yeah, I remember. Walt Williams is coming up. Chris Anka. Now I'm into September. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of good GOG guests coming up, and Games guests.
Does Kind of Funny have any plans on implementing another segment, not sure what show, similar to singing to Shuhei, for opportunities to share original music?
No, there isn't any plans for that on Morning Show or Kind of Funny Games Daily. The reason being, and this is something someone asked on Reddit that I didn't get a chance to answer. I saw, but I was in the middle of something. It was, they were like, why is there the jingle before every episode of Kind of Funny Games Daily on YouTube? And the reason is, to turn Kind of Funny Games Daily and the morning show around as video and audio podcast so fast, they're recorded as we do. This sounds stupid, but stick with me. They're recorded as we make them. And unlike GOG or Gamescast, where we record those while we make them, and then later go and put name bars, go and do this shit. These are hit record, and then you hit stop, and then you put them into YouTube so that they're done as fast as possible. If we were going to go do what we're talking about, it would get to be a nightmare of having to actually edit the show, which we don't want to do. And that sounds stupid, but you understand what I mean for these daily shows. Because P.S. I Love You, singing a Shuhei, it was always, if you're listening to MP3, you'll hear the song. If you're watching the video, it'll be annotated. And so that's going to be, we're recording the audio and the video versions of the show at the same time here. So it wouldn't make sense for me to stop the recording and then hit record again to do this, because then it would have to go in and it would have to get processed. And it's just a wrinkle and legwork that we don't need. And honestly, I understand that many of you do miss it. It was one that people would struggle on sending in songs. It was a pain in the butt to get things done. It wasn't something I think people loved as much as some of us did. I always did, obviously. The Geeky Girl song from Beyond. Come on now. Come on now!
Let's see. Can party mode episodes be a little bit longer? I like the idea that you guys are trying out new games and the video is your first reaction, but there are a couple of cases where it seems like the video ends just as you understand the rules.
Sometimes, yes, no. I mean, it's game-by-game basis on what we're doing. I think some of the ones you'll see that we played those games where we didn't know what we were doing necessarily, we did more of. Like, we did sequels to them that'll be coming down the line. And then other times, it'll just have to be what it is, or that's how funny it is. But it's what we think is good, and if we have enough that it is funny on its own. But we've heard that feedback. We understand.
Yeah, I think it's hard, too, because so many of, that and, Drawful, you end up cutting out so much of the playtime because it's not, you guys are just drawing and not talking.
Sure.
That it makes them shorter versus when you're recording it seems longer.
Queso Bros in the chat says, is there a possibility of a content release calendar on a day-by-day basis? I would have loved to show up for streamed events like the Kind of Funny live viewing party if I was able to plan ahead of time. So for the most part, I hear you. It's not spelled out anywhere. You can just click and see. We've thought about it. We talked about it.
We talked about this.
We're working on it.
We're working on it, says Nick, as Joey starts to fume.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out.
How's that making
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out the best place for that to be. So we're just trying to figure
There's
out.
some complications to that.
Yeah, a few things here and there. The problem is we're spread out everywhere, and everyone's everywhere. So it's like, where's the best place for it? But Joey's figuring it out.
Nick, you look like a 10-year-old in this light with this angle. Look how small you look. Look how young you look.
Man, I should shoot everything from this angle. It's like it's like
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Nick Scarpino.
What is this called? Not isotopic. Isometric. Yeah.
Isometric.
That's awesome. How much longer are you guys going on this bad boy? I gotta make an apron.
I mean, well, you want to go 2:25? That'll been or no, 2:35. That'll been an hour.
Cool.
Can you give me that? Give me 15 more. We gotta go do cooking with Greg.
Or do you have to go get an apron and then come back here?
I just got a couple errands. I gotta run, but it's probably better if I just grab him and pack the gear and go.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2:35. Fuck, I can't speak.
Okay.
15 minutes.
Let me go through and find some stuff that go through those.
I'm looking. KBW Wrestling says, bring back this forgotten PlayStation game segment, but we get to choose any game from any platform instead. Cool, BW Wrestling. Maybe you haven't watched the show. kindafunny.com/KFGD. Go ahead and submit a segment and a forgotten game whenever you fucking want to. You don't have to wait for me to say it's okay. You can just do this. I've told you this is okay. You can just do it. Gross. Eyeballs are gross.
Couple things. We thought about just starting the morning show, or kind of making daily at just 12, since we usually go over so long.
No, it happens all the time.
In the questions.
Oh, my apologies. Yes, no, not really. Like for us, this is you. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, anywhere you want to on Twitter. I thought there'd be way more backlash to the fact of 11:45, and it never starts at 11:45. It seems like everybody gets it. This is just a rolling thing. We don't want to step on either show's toes. I don't know if that's a problem for some of you watching live, because I don't see the chat ever, obviously, for Kind of Funny Games Daily either. I don't know what's going on. I don't think it's a big concern. I like the fact the morning show can go till 11:35, or it can go till noon. I think Andrea might not like it all the time today. She didn't seem too happy that the guys were taking so long.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Andy didn't know that it started at 11:45 until today.
Andy's god damn.
Let me see. Another thing that I've seen pop up various places, recording and releasing the full uncut Game Over Greggy and Gamescast, including the little pre and the post stuff that we do.
Oh yeah. I've heard people talk about that too.
We don't record that part, so that would just be.
Yeah, and it's one of those where I think funny things might happen in it, but I saw somebody like not super upset, because that makes it sound like he's throwing a fit or something. But there was a person who's like, oh man, I'm in another country, and so I don't have the time zones lined up, so I missed this, and it's like, oh, like I wonder what I'm missing, and I feel left out. It's like you're not really missing anything. Like I understand maybe there'll be
only because it was drunk that I feel like people missed out on the Kevin thing, because I don't feel like I really saw.
Did we even go that much later after Kevin?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah.
I didn't think I was that drunk on that episode.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, well.
Somebody asked, will T-shirt Tuesday be making a comeback? Maybe not in that form, but in some sort of...
The DNA of T-shirt Tuesday will return.
Exactly. That's something that I've been working on with Nick.
Fred Murphy says in the chat, Greg, any chance we can rename Kind of Funny Games Daily's You're Wrong to Special Segment Liar and True Beyond Throwback? It's not a new segment, just a reboot of the old one. The Special Segment Liar is too aggressive. We don't mean to lie to you. We're just ill-informed. We screwed up.
Yeah. Love what you've been doing lately. Why are there so many repeat shout-outs on Because I Love This Best Friend? Let me tell you about this. So we have this handy-dandy spreadsheet similar to how you have these questions. And everyone every day would pick one off of there, and then a lot of times forget to highlight that we've done it.
Yeah.
So I've taken over that part, and so I'm just managing it now. So I'm trying to go through and make sure all the old ones get read, but we are finding that a lot of those old ones did get read and just never got marked off. So it should be better moving forward as we do more of the new ones, and
I mean, part
14 different people aren't in there.
The short answer, exactly, is the fact that no one owned it before. So we're all going in there and doing stuff, and it'd be like if we were doing giveaway codes but forgetting to delete the code we're giving away.
Yeah. Is party mode seasonal?
Nope. Party mode's an ongoing, never-ending, Andy better not fucking quit show.
Yeah, that's true.
Nick.
Yeah.
If Andy ever tries to quit, we'll just kill him, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Let's see. Are there any plans to try and collaborate more with other members of the Let's Play family?
Yeah, there are always, obviously, because we just like everybody in the Let's Play family. Funhouse is the one some of the top people you requested. If not these top, I forget. Do you remember from the survey?
I feel like it was Funhouse.
It was Funhouse, Easy Allies,
and Giant Bomb that were
okay.
the top
Yeah, we got Giant Bomb in right away. We've now booked Bruce and Elise to come up and make content with us in the coming weeks. So yeah.
My favorites.
I need a haircut, but goddamn if it doesn't look
Are
good
there
right
any
now.
more?
Well, I don't know. Look at my hair, Joey. Come on, there's important things happening.
Clearly.
Zyger1337, a man I've never heard of before, says, Greg told me just to blame Joey every time they reread a name on the Best Friends segment. Greg has never lied to me before. That's a good point.
Never, ever.
Young ex-Weiger. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never seen you before, but yes, that's a good point.
Yeah. Will there be any updates to the Kind of Funny app?
None planned. Do there need to be? I'm sure they're due, which you need to tell us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, looking through your thing. Oh, there's the odd. Yep, it's Friday.
Wes has like a long ass question.
Is he being a dick about it, or is he? Should I
he's
go
always
fight him?
being a
Do you want me to go fight him?
That'd be great. Wanted to give a bit of feedback since Patreon changes. I really enjoyed getting the exclusive episodes, but since it's switched to one day early for premium shows and watching recordings live, I don't think it's as much bang for your buck, particularly for someone in the UK, given the shows are usually recorded during our night. I think it feels even more so with Gamescast only being exclusive for a few days rather than a full week.
Sure.
Naturally, I don't have your numbers, so do what's best for the majority. Just a bit of feedback.
No, thank you. I want that. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the shows, so let's take out the podcast. Let's Play, or not Let's Play, no, well, Kind of Funny plays if it's not embargoed. Party mode in particular, doodles, seasonal stuff being early, and you're saying it's not much bang for your buck. That's because it is a book. I think that's the point, where it's like, it is $1 we're asking for on that one. It gets you the podcast live, which I think has brought in a lot of people and made people happy.
It's really fun.
It's that thing of like, at a buck, we don't want to stress you out and make it, like I want to do it a week early and I guess that might make the buck more attractive, but it would also make our lives more complicated, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In terms of Gamescast, I hear you, but that was also the only way to fix Gamescast, really, in the way that Gamescast was so outdated by the time other people were getting it that if to correct it more for what you're talking about, right, we would either have to move Gamescast publishing for everybody out to either Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or whatever, or we have to move the recording of it's any way you slice that one, we're back in the same situation where Gamescast is super stale by the time it gets there. And even though it is an evergreen show, right, where hey, like with the one we just did yesterday, is like what are we playing and all this other stuff. There's still gonna be today somebody said whatever, and then you get it out there and that's been disproven and no longer a thing. Oh fuck, here you go.
Oh no.
What's up? What the fuck's going on here, man? What are y'all doing?
Nothing. Don't worry, just go.
Who's in? Who are y'all talking to?
It's Nick. We're talking to Nick.
Nick?
Just Nick.
That's cool, man. What's going on?
Greg would just need to look at his hair and see.
I do. I like this. I'll tell you right now. Like this part of the hair looks really. No, hold on. This part of the swoop looks really good.
You know what?
But when I do this, I don't like this at all. I gotta cut this stuff.
Yeah.
It's prestigious.
I'm hoping I can get it cut today. Thank you.
Yeah. It's prestigious.
Is Greg now in the running for the most pretentious hair Kind of Funny?
No, not even close. Andy's looking.
Are you planning on working with more correspondents?
Jared hits us up. Yeah, are you planning to work with more correspondents similar to Sancho West? I'm totally open to that, and I love that idea. There's too many preview events. We don't get to go to all of them. You know, I think in the past, bringing Andrea on as a guest or, anybody into that caliber who's at something it made sense. But Sancho really showed me something. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put down anybody because I'm sure some of you are watching, but like the amount of people who hit us up and like, hey, I'd love to work. Kind of funny. One day, here's a resume. Let me know. And it's like, well, we're not hiring right now. It's not how it is. For Sancho, the way he did that was he just hit me up and was like, hey, I went to the Uncharted thing and I saw none of you were there. So do you want me to file a report for you? I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. It's not that I wouldn't have thought of that, but it would have only really dawned on me, I think. I don't have enough time to think when I turned down the Uncharted event, right? Because I'm sold on Uncharted. I don't need to see any more of it. But most importantly, they wouldn't let us capture it. So if I can't do a Let's Play there, me going to play it is just me burning the day and not having anything to say about it. Now, I did that with Horizon, but I came back and turned a big preview out of it. Uncharted is a known quantity to an extent of it's Uncharted and it's Chloe and it's Nadine. I'm excited to play it when it gets here, but I'm not gonna run down there and do it. So for him to do that was such a great thing. But I never in a million years would have thought to be like, hey, PlayStation or hey, Twitter, who's going to this event that isn't us? And like, who would want to file this? And it really does, similar to how Danny and Andrea are like, oh, fuck, contractors are a great idea. So is having collaborators like that.
Yeah.
Another young person here in the chat that I've never heard of, Zyger1337 said, who's the guy in the red shirt? Never seen him before. Is he the new intern?
Exciger.
Are you the new intern?
1,337.
That's him.
Hey, when did Rahul show up?
Brandon Murphy with the jokes.
Thank you,
I
Nikki.
love it.
Hi, Nikki. Thanks for the compliment on my shirt.
I was
I'm
gonna
gonna
say-
go see the Zelda Symphony tonight. Very.
Oh, you gonna cry like Britney always does?
Dude, I will 100% cry.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You got a date with this?
Yeah.
He or she gonna cry?
She? Might? I don't know.
Okay. Put it out there. See what's happening.
Maybe. Is there anything else?
I don't know.
All the other questions we've like pretty much covered.
Or the two AME.
Yeah.
AMAE.
It's a lot of like, I have questions about blogs. that
Yeah,
we
okay,
kinda
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about. And you should make the morning show longer. And
Which
Should bring back the
today's show
barbecue.
didn't need to be any bit longer than it already was.
It was already too long.
It was a piece
You
of shit.
disrespected me and you disrespected Amy.
It was a disaster. Is what.
and you disrespected me with all this shit talking on bug juice. It's not a good time. It's not a current goal.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your kind of funny town hall for August. We don't know how often we're gonna do these.
No, every other month, every quarter.
I want
something
to
like
stay
that.
in front. I want to stay. You know, I want to make sure you have a place to come, air your grievances, and get, you know.
Every
what's
12
going on.
hours.
Every 12 hours. Thank you, Andy. So yeah, we'll figure. Oh, Andy's going on a date. This is Sammy on.
Stupid name.
Randy.
No.
Do you like that more or less than candy?
They're all terrible.
All right, man. You know what? I try. You know, I can't all be fucking. You know, fucking the Ty Collar
I'm
fun
not-
comments like you,
I'm
huh?
not asking you to try.
Yeah, you know, you asked me when you came on. You made me step up my game, so I had to start being there.
Okay.
So that's the thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like I'm the Golden State Warriors and you're the San Antonio Spurs. You know? Ladies and gentlemen, Town Hall, we'll do them again. Answer all the questions. Thanks for your support on Patreon. Thanks for your support on just Reddit. Thanks for watching the video, listening to the podcast, do whatever. Thanks for being on the forums. Thanks for being on the Facebook group. Everybody be nice to each other. Thanks for being in Discord. So I don't understand. Just don't understand, but I'm glad Discord's a thing.
Represent it.
I'd like to play Friday the 13th soon. But I gotta cook all this food for Nick.
I was looking at the calendar to see if we could get anything, but there's just a lot
The
of
calendar
stuff.
is fucking packed.
We should do fun stuff the week that everybody's gone though.
Yes. Wait, am I here for that?
You are.
Okay, good. Yes, we should do fun stuff for weeks everyone. We should start some stupid, like insanely stupid 164 person invitational. And fucking try to whittle it down with it. Ladies and gentlemen,
Little PUBG tournament.
thank you for everything. I'm Greg, that's Joey. Nick's over there.
He's not paying attention.
Until next time, it's been a pleasure to serve you.
Bye.
I'm gonna go back to the dog photo. I don't know, there it is, and I'm gonna turn off the mic.